So I have to say, Apple continues to surprise me in terms of performance with the latest iOS 26. Today we're going to revisit iOS 26 Developer Beta 7 slash Public Beta 4. Now keep in mind this software update will soon be available to the general public, and I have to say I've never tested a version of iOS that was this smooth when running as a beta software. So I have some great news to share with you guys in terms of performance, battery life, when we can expect the next beta, and I also want to talk about some additional new features and changes that I've noticed within the latest beta over the past several days. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is some of the new features within the latest set of betas and additional changes that I've noticed over the past several days. Now, for those of you that haven't been following, Apple has re-enabled the blood oxygen sensor for Apple Watch here in the US. It had a ban for quite some time. iOS 18.6.1 was released to enable this for the general public, and now on the latest set of betas, Apple has also re-enabled this for developers and public beta testers. So jump into the Watch application, and there it is. The blood oxygen sensor is now working for developers and public beta testers on the latest betas for iOS 26. For those of you that didn't know, yeah, it is now back, and you can view the data directly on the health application of your iPhone. Now, something else that's new within the latest set of betas under the battery section, there's a new option to enable or disable notifications for adaptive power. Now, adaptive power is a really cool feature that will adjust performance in order to extend battery life. If you don't want those notifications on the lock screen, you now have the option to disable those notifications directly within the battery section. Now, something else I've noticed is new within the battery section. If you have a charging limit enabled and you plug your iPhone into charge, take a look right here. So once I plug my iPhone will let me know that even though I have a charging limit set lower than 100%, my iPhone will occasionally charge to 100%, and Apple will do this obviously to maintain accurate stats and of course that battery health information for you. So yeah, you see here I have charging limits set to 90, but my iPhone is telling me, hey, occasionally your iPhone will charge to 100 just to maintain those accurate stats, even if you have the charging limit set below that 100 mark. And now for those of you in Montana, if you go into the wallet application, click on the plus icon and click on the driver's license and ID, you now have the ability to add it to your wallet right there. So you now have digital IDs for the wallet in Montana, and Apple continues to add more states here in the US. This has been a slow rollout, but yeah, Montana, it is now your turn. Now, this is easily one of my favorite new changes happening within the latest set of betas. So I'm sure this has happened to you. So let's say you're typing a message, right? You're typing a message and then you forget to hit that send button and then you go about your day and forget. So now you can tap into the top right corner here and your iPhone will let you know, hey, you have a draft message that you never sent. So I'm sure you probably thought at some point that you send a message and you never did. Well, now you have a reminder here. So if you tap on the draft, it will bring you to that conversation thread, and you can now see the message that you never sent and you never click on that send button, and there you go. So this is easily one of my favorite new features within the latest beta, the draft option within the messages application. Now, AirPods also received an update. AirPods beta 5 is out. 8A534 3A is the latest update to AirPods, and I have to say Apple has yet to add the live translation feature that we're all waiting for, which in my opinion now hints at Apple could release a new set of AirPods soon. There is the latest update. Obviously, if you want to update your AirPods, make sure that they're paired to your iPhone. Let them sit next to each other, connected to a power source, and the update will happen automatically in the background. But yeah, no live translation just yet added on the 5th beta for the AirPods firmware update. So I think Apple is planning to release a new set of AirPods soon. I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe that is one of the standalone features for the new AirPods. It was rumored to be coming to AirPods 4 and AirPods Pro 2, or hopefully Apple is just waiting to announce the new AirPods, to announce the new features and bring those features over to the older versions of the AirPods 4 and AirPods Pro 2nd generation. But let's talk about the performance and battery life, because I know a lot of you guys are asking, how's the performance? How's the battery life? We're sitting in beta 7. So right now I have to say iOS 26 is easily one of the smoothest operating systems I've tested in terms of beta animations, performance. There is a few bugs here and there, but in terms of speed, this software feels buttery smooth when navigating. Everything you do just feels a lot faster with iOS 26, even on older devices. And now, in terms of battery life, I know you guys always ask, once again, Apple has improved battery life once again within the latest set of betas, better than the previous betas. Still needs work, but we're getting there. So Apple is definitely making the software stable enough and the battery good enough to where iOS 26 is setting up to be a fantastic software update. Hopefully things will continue this way. Now, when it comes to performance, let's go into the benchmarks here. Let's go under CPU. Right there, I did run a benchmark. You see there the previous beta versus the current beta. We saw a slight increase in the multi-core performance. As you can see right there, I just tested the latest beta. So everything is looking pretty good. Now let's talk about when we can expect the next beta, beta 8, and the official release moving forward. So if Apple continues on a weekly release schedule, that means iOS 26 developer beta 8 will most likely release next week on the week of the 25th. And of course, the next public beta, beta 5 for public beta testers will most likely follow a few hours or 24 hours at the most after the release of the developer beta, as Apple is now gearing up to move the software out as soon as possible. It looks like we're looking at an Apple event. Rumors say that we're looking at an Apple event most likely on September the 8th or September the 9th for the new iPhones and perhaps new Airpods. I'll keep you guys posted once that announcement becomes available. By the way, if we are having an Apple event the second week of September, that means that we'll most likely see invitations next week for the Apple event alongside the new betas. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted. Now, in terms of official release date, I believe iOS 26, the official public release, will most likely happen towards the middle of September. My money is on September the 15th, but it could go all the way to September the 22nd. I'll keep you guys posted in regards to official release. Expect a new set of betas for next week. Of course, it looks like things are moving along pretty quickly. It looks like iOS feels very polished. It looks like liquid glass design has been pretty much finalized at this point. We may see some minor tweaking and changes, but aside from that, good news all around. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.